Some men are attractive and magnetic, and their quiet confidence is hard to ignore. Their secret weapon isn't something you can see. It's a deep understanding of themselves and the situations they're in. These men, who are known as high-value individuals, easily pass women's tests, not by chance, but because they have a mastery of self that is in line with Stoic principles. High-value men follow this theory, showing calm composure and honest behavior that naturally attracts others. They don't try to please others or act on impulse, so they keep an aura that piques respect and curiosity. Stay tuned as we talk about 10 ways to develop these traits and why they're so important for not only attracting, but also holding other people's attention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to join us on this journey of self-discovery and mastery right now. First things first, they don't act like someone they're not. This is likely the most important thing about a high-value man. Men who are highly valued live honestly and are happy with who they are. They don't try to fit in or conform to societal norms or stereotypes, and they don't waste time trying to please others or change themselves to fit in. This level of honesty and confidence makes them stand out, and women really appreciate it. Let us make a link between this and Stoic thought. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature and being true to yourself. They taught that trying to please other people and get approval from them are things that keep you from being truly happy and fulfilled. A man of great value lives by these principles, by being himself, no matter what other people say or do. To impress a woman, a man might act overly confident, exaggerate his accomplishments, or adopt behaviors that he thinks will make him more attractive. However, women can easily tell when someone isn't being honest, and it can be a big turnoff. On the other hand, a high-value man stays true to himself. He doesn't feel the need to lie or put on a show. This authenticity not only shows confidence, but it also makes an instant connection with women. Even if they don't fully understand why they're drawn to him, they can't resist the real energy he gives off. Let's look at an example. John is a high-value man who embodies this trait. He loves art, even though some people think it's not traditionally manly. Instead of hiding his interest, John embraces it. When he goes on a date, he talks about how much he enjoys painting and how happy it makes him. He doesn't pretend to be more into sports or cars to fit a certain image. John's date can see the excitement in his eyes as he talks about his art, and she likes how honest and excited he is about it. This makes John unique and attractive. This is an important point that many men miss when they try to change themselves into what they think women want. Men know that it's more attractive for women to be real and happy with who they are. This real self-confidence comes from Stoic knowledge, which stresses self-control, inner peace, and staying true to oneself. To sum up, being genuine isn't just about self-confidence. It's a central idea in Stoic philosophy and a highly valued trait. Men who are true to themselves easily pass women's tests. Women are drawn to their honest energy, which makes these men stand out in a crowd. Number 2, they understand womanese. Women have used this subtle language for years, where what they say often hides a different meaning. Men like this kind of communication because it makes them think. One minute they treat you like a stranger, and the next they treat you like a lover. They might act like your best friend one day and ignore you the next. If you want to be good at flirting and interacting with people, you need to understand this psychological aspect. In a world full of hidden meanings and unspoken cues, men naturally figure out this language. Many men feel like they are secret spies. Do not pay attention to the small signs women give you about how to draw them. Little things that can make a big difference. High-value men are great at reading these subtle cues and knowing how to react. For example, if a woman says, "I'm really busy tonight, maybe we can hang out another time," a high-value man would not take this at face value and would instead back off. The man knows that she might be testing him to see how persistent and sure of himself he is to handle a small task. Instead of giving up, he might say, "Don't worry, I'm busy too. Let's plan something fun for when we're both free." To start a conversation, most guys focus on the words instead of the feelings and intentions behind them. They might get annoyed when women send mixed messages or change their behavior suddenly. But a man who understands Stoic principles knows that staying emotionally balanced and responding calmly is key. He doesn't get thrown off by a woman's mood swings or cryptic messages. Instead, he stays grounded, observes her behavior, and responds in a way that shows he's in control and not easily swayed. For example, if a woman suddenly stops touching him after being very affectionate, a high-value man won't panic or become needy. Instead, he'll stay calm, give her space, and let her know he's still interested. Women are often interested in this approach, and it makes them value him more because they see him as stable and sure of himself, because he knows how to make women feel at ease while keeping a calm mind. High-value men breeze through these tests. They don't let the emotional roller coaster affect them. Instead, they handle it with confidence and clarity. Their ability to read between the lines and respond appropriately sets them apart, making them very attractive and respected by women. Third, they don't go overboard. High-value men have a deep understanding of this principle. Stoicism is based on the idea that less is more. It teaches that real strength comes from moderation and self-control. Important men don't try to impress women with big actions or over-the-top displays of affection. Instead, they choose a more subtle but effective approach that naturally gets attention. For example, a man who buys his date a single flower instead of a huge, expensive bouquet can show empathy and thoughtfulness without having to spend a lot of money, because they come from a place of love and trust, not a need to prove something important. Women enjoy these small acts of kindness. Men know they have something special inside them and don't need to go out of their way to show it off. This fits with the Stoic belief in inner worth and the idea that one's worth is not based on what other people think of them. Women can feel your confidence and are automatically interested in you. A man who is happy with himself and doesn't try too hard to impress stands out from the crowd. For example, a high-value man who texts and calls a woman to get her attention, but instead chooses to have deep conversations with her when they are together. He doesn't send her too many messages or try to be too present in her life. This balance of attention and space creates an air of mystery and respect that many women find irresistible. Stoicism tells us that our actions should be based on wisdom and virtue, not on our need for approval or satisfaction right away. Important men show their love in a classy and interesting way because they know that being too assertive can make them look needy and desperate, which is not what they want. Instead, they balance assertiveness with a touch of mystery. For example, they might compliment a woman honestly and then leave it at that, leaving her to wonder and be curious about him. Beta men, on the other hand, often miss this point. They might overdo it with constant gifts, praise, or displays of affection, thinking it will win her heart. But this can backfire and make them look needy or insecure. Important. When it comes to guys, they keep it low-key, letting their actions speak louder than words and their natural charm shine through naturally. The Stoic concept of moderation high value is the key to passing a woman's test and getting her attention. Men don't go overboard because they know the power of subtlety and the importance of self-control. By following these Stoic ideals, men create an air of confidence and intrigue that naturally draws women, showing that sometimes less really is more. They know how important silence is in the world of Stoicism. How to understand the value of silence is a very important concept. Men of high value. People who follow saints' rules know that sometimes it's best to keep quiet. They don't feel the need to constantly show themselves or brag about their instead. They believe in the power of silence and know that their ability to stay calm in any situation is what makes them most attractive. This doesn't mean they're quiet or not interested, it just means they know when to talk and when to keep quiet. Their draw is, they are very good at using silence to their advantage. For them, it's a way to control themselves and think. It's about knowing when to say something important and when to leave things alone. For example, think about a time when a woman tries to test a man's patience or get him to do something. Man's Stoic principles tell him not to respond hastily. Instead, he will stay calm and collected, showing how strong and sure of himself he really is. His silence in these situations says a lot about his character and confidence. If someone is quiet, it doesn't mean they're boring or uninterested. It means they want to save their energy for deep talks and real connections. They know that every word they say should be important, so they wait. This method not only makes them more appealing, but it also helps people get closer to each other. There are times when guys feel like they need to talk to fill the void, but it makes them more attractive when they know when to stop talking and when to listen. Women find confidence, wisdom, and understanding to be very beautiful traits. Being able to use silence well shows that you have these traits. A level of self-awareness and control that is both rare and attractive is shown. Important 5. When a woman approaches them, they stand up. This simple action is important for earning respect and approval because it shows that you see her as an equal and that you're a man, not just another guy. Some people might think that standing up is a sign of weakness, but high-value men know how to use it well. It helps them handle social situations with grace and confidence, showing that they are not easily rattled and that they have a deep sense of self-control. This Stoic attitude not only makes them more attractive, but it also makes them more respected and admired by those around them. Women often lose respect for men who act weak or submissive around other men. But when they see a man who can be strong and assertive with other men while still showing respect to women, it makes a big impression. It's not only attractive, but it shows that this man knows how to treat women right and make them feel valued. This small action can have a big effect. Stoicism shows us how to be wise and brave in our actions, fairness and justice in every case. When a woman walks up to you and you stand up, you are showing that you are smart enough to know how important it is to show respect, brave enough to stand tall and confident, fair in treating her as an equal and moderate in your behavior, neither too aggressive nor too passive. Think about this example. You're at a social event and a woman you've been interested in comes over to talk. If you stay seated, you might come across as bored or lazy, but if you stand up, you show that you are paying attention and are interested. You also show that you respect her presence enough to rise and meet her at eye level. This shows that you are strong and valuable because you are thinking about more than just yourself. A man of high value who is rooted in Stoic ideas knows that respect goes both ways. He also knows that his deeds speak louder than words, and by standing up, he shows that he values himself and others. The way he acts makes him different from guys who don't understand these subtleties, seeing him as someone who is sure of themselves and caring. When a woman approaches you, standing up is a small but powerful act that shows your character. It tells her and everyone else that you are honest and respectful. Taking a Stoic approach to interactions helps build real connections and fosters mutual respect, which is essential in any relationship. So the next time a woman approaches you, remember the wisdom of Stoicism and stand up. It's a simple action that has deep meaning, showing that you value high values and know how to behave properly. By following these rules, you show that you are a man of respect and strength who can leave a lasting positive impression. Men are clear about how much they're worth. Set clear limits for them. Being self-aware isn't a sign of pride. It means they know their own worth and won't let anything take that away from them. People do bad things to them or take advantage of their kindness. By setting limits, they show others that they value them and expect the same from them. Stoicism tells us that we have power over our own happiness and well-being. Important men show this by keeping their thoughts and feelings safe from bad things and explosions. Being rigid or unapproachable doesn't mean they're not caring. It means they know that saying no when they need to is a powerful way to keep their inner peace and focus on what really matters. For example, a high-value man named Mark, who values his time and emotional energy, doesn't get angry or frustrated when a woman he's interested in keeps canceling plans at the last minute. Instead, he calmly talks about the problem. Mark might say, "I like spending time with you, but it's important to me that we respect each other's time. If this keeps up, we might want to change how we plan our time together." This shows that he respects both the other person and himself, setting a clear limit without having to. This level of self-respect and confidence is attractive to women because it shows that the man is strong and self-aware. It also shows that the man values himself enough to not settle for less than he deserves and will keep the same standards in a relationship. Important men know that setting healthy boundaries is important for creating respectful and satisfying relationships. They don't just want to make others happy at the cost of themselves. Instead, they aim for mutual respect and understanding, which is the foundation of any strong and lasting connection. Important men pass women's tests of character and strength because they show that they are stable, confident, and not easily swayed by outside forces. This fits with Stoic ideas about self-control and resilience, which makes them beautiful not only on the surface but also as truly admirable people. Seventh, they handle rejection with grace. When they are rejected, high-value men act maturely and calmly instead of getting angry or desperate. They see rejection as a normal part of life. Let's look more into how Stoic principles apply to this and how high-value men pass this common test from women. The main idea behind Stoicism is to control what you can and accept what you can't. A man of high value doesn't take it personally or see it as an indication of how valuable he is. He knows that everyone has their own tastes and reasons, and that things don't always work out. Keeping this in mind helps him stay calm and collected. Think of, if a man asks a woman out and she politely says no, he shouldn't get angry or feel hurt. Instead, he should smile and thank her for being honest. He might say something like, "I appreciate your honesty. It was nice talking to you." This answer shows that he respects her choice and is sure of himself enough that a no won't bother him. This reaction fits perfectly with the Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control. He can't change how she feels or what she decides, but he can change how he reacts. By doing this, he shows emotional strength and confidence, which are both attractive traits. Women often put men to the test by seeing how they deal with being turned down or disappointed. It's a way to see how emotionally mature and stable they are. When a man responds with grace, it shows that he is stable and sure of himself, which is very attractive. This response is a strong sign of high value because it shows he doesn't need other people's approval to feel good about himself. Also, being able to handle rejection with grace shows that a man is not desperate, since desperation makes a man look like he has no other options. Man's Stoic ideas tell him that one rejection doesn't define him, so he goes on with pride, knowing that there are other chances waiting for him. Very good deal. Men deal with rejection with grace by following Stoic principles. They accept what they can't change and focus on their response, which is always calm and polite. This approach not only impresses women, but it also shows that they are emotionally strong and confident, which makes them even more attractive. So remember, the next time you face rejection, take it in stride and show your high value by responding with grace and composure. Number 8. Men are great at being honest. They don't need to defend their deeds or explain themselves. This doesn't mean they don't want to take responsibility. It just means they know how to gain respect without making excuses. These men are happy with who they are and don't give in to the pressure to fit into a certain mold. They don't care if people like or dislike them. Instead, they focus on living their lives in a way that is in line with their values and beliefs. From a Stoic point of view, this confidence and inner strength are very impressive. This sincerity is about knowing and accepting one's true nature. Stoicism tells us to pay attention to the things we can change and let go of the things we can't. High-value guys live by this principle because they don't try to fit in with society's expectations or find approval from other people. Instead, they work on developing an inner sense of peace and confidence that comes from knowing themselves. Very high-value men also pass women's tests by staying true to themselves even when things get tough. For example, if a woman questions his decisions or tries to get a reaction from him, he has passed the test. A man stays calm and collected. He doesn't feel the need to defend himself or prove himself. Instead, he responds with confidence and poise, which shows how strong and sure of himself he really is. For example, if a woman asks him why he didn't answer her text right away, he might calmly say that he was focused on an important task and values being present in his activities. He doesn't apologize for having priorities and boundaries. Stoic ideas support his calm and logical approach. Being honest and having high value means keeping true to yourself and not putting on a front. Important men are naturally different from other people because they are honest and have unwavering self-confidence, which can be both scary and inspiring to others. Their authenticity, which is based on Stoic wisdom, is what makes them truly special. Men have an air of age and calmness that makes them stand out in the world of Stoicism. This is a trait of a wise and grounded person that is highly valued. Men don't have to be loud or pushy to be noticed. Their presence alone says a lot. They stay calm under pressure, knowing when to speak up and when to keep quiet. This calmness shows a deep-seated confidence and an understanding that acting on impulse is rarely a good idea. For example, Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, kept a calm demeanor while being Roman emperor and facing a lot of stress and problems. He did his job with grace and thoughtfulness. About the same high-value men are mature in their relationships and in life in general. They think carefully about all the options before making a choice and aren't easily moved by small problems. This calm demeanor is very attractive because it shows sophistication and emotional intelligence. It shows how a man can stay calm and graceful in different situations, similar to the Stoic ideal of not being affected by chaos outside. People are naturally drawn to someone who can handle life's ups and downs with poise and enjoy the little things, supporting the Stoic principle of finding joy in simplicity. Men are not only grown, but they are also honest and trustworthy. They try to be the best versions of themselves and keep their promises. This dependability comes from a strong sense of duty and responsibility, knowing that their actions affect not only themselves but also those around them. They enjoy life and have fun, but they also know when to take things seriously. This mix of maturity, dependability, and sincerity makes high-value men very attractive. They pass women's tests not by pretending to be someone else, but by being honest and dependable. For example, if a woman tests a man by canceling plans at the last minute to see how he reacts, a high-value man would calmly accept the change without getting angry, showing that his peace of mind is not easily upset. Out of the blue, great value. The Stoic qualities of wisdom, courage, and temper are shown by men. Temperance. They handle life with ease, which makes them strength and dependability are their pillars. Their calm growth is what makes them stand out and really appeal to others. 10. They work on improving themselves all the time. Important men are always trying to improve themselves. This is in line with Stoic ideas, which stress the importance of personal growth and self-mastery. Just like the Stoics, men put time and effort into their development, whether it's by learning new skills, pursuing passions, or thinking about the choices they've made in their lives. For example, a man might spend his evenings learning a new language or playing an instrument. This commitment to growth isn't just about getting new skills. It's also about developing discipline, patience, and resilience. Core Stoic values by pushing themselves and getting out of their comfort zones all the time. Men of great value take an active role in their lives, which is women naturally find men who are always improving and aiming for excellence attractive and inspiring. This is because it shows that they have a growth mindset, which means they know that their skills and intelligence can be improved with hard work, learning, and persistence. These qualities are shown by high-value guys who set goals, work hard to reach them, and learn from their mistakes and successes. One example of IOIC knowledge is a man who often thinks about his actions and choices in order to learn from them and make better ones in the future. Self-reflection helps people understand and improve themselves, which has a good effect on their relationships with others as well. Men of high worth know that they are always growing as people, and that every step they take toward their goals makes them happier and more successful in the long run. This never-ending drive to get better is what makes them unique and tough in the face of life's difficulties. Focusing on self-improvement leads to stability and dependability, just like the Stoics believed in sticking it out through hard times and finding power in relationships. A man who is dedicated to his own growth will likely support and encourage his partner's growth as well. He knows that a healthy relationship is based on mutual respect and always trying to be better for each other. To sum up, High-value men pass women's tests by living by the Stoic ideals of constant self-improvement, resilience, and a proactive approach to life. This dedication to growth not only improves their own lives but also makes them desirable and inspiring partners. As we wrap up today's look at the world of high-value men and the Stoic principles they follow, remember that the road to self-mastery and authenticity is not a sprint but a marathon. Each of the traits we've talked about is a step toward becoming a person of high value, both in the eyes of others and yourself. Adopting these traits will not only improve your relationships, but it will also completely change how you see yourself and how you deal with life's challenges. Thank you for joining us for this interesting conversation. If you found today's content useful, please like and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Your participation helps us grow and keep giving you useful content. If you have any thoughts or experiences to share, please leave a comment below. We love hearing from you. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to make sure you don't miss our next videos. You can see suggested lessons on the screen that go into even more detail about Stoicism and personal growth. Read them to keep moving forward on your path to becoming a high-value person. Remember, the way to self-constant destruction leads to improvement, and every step you take is a step toward a more authentic and happy life. Keep going, stay true to your values, and let your actions speak louder than your words. See you in the next video.